is called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Representative Ballman,
Present.
Representative Bray, Representative Brown, Representative Chester Burton, Representative Doan, Representative Fleming, Representative Freeland,
Present.
Representative Griffey,
Here.
Representative Hampton, Representative Hart, Representative Imes,
Here.
Representative Lewis,
Here.
Representative Maddox, Representative Meredith, Representative Rorks, Representative Stalker, Representative Raymer,
Here.
Representative Witten,
Here.
Vice Chair Neighbors,
Here.
Chairman Flannery.
Here. We do have a quorum present, and we are constituted to do business. Do any members have introductions they'd like to make? All right, appears not. We have 4 bills on the agenda today. We are going to go in order as they appear on the agenda. First up is House Bill 131. If Representative Meredith can take the table, please. I believe, before we get started here, I believe there is a committee sub. Do we have a motion on the committee sub? We have a motion by Representative Bray. We have a second. Second by Representative Imes. All in favor of the committee sub, vote aye. The ayes have it.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. I'm Representative Michael Meredith, representing the 19th House District.
J.D. Cheney, Kentucky League of Cities.
Joe Bear, President of Kentucky Professional Firefighters.
All right, please proceed.
House Bill 131 is pretty simple. It just provides flexibility to fire departments that were in what were former second-class cities. We have done a lot of work on classification reform over the last several years. We left some things out of classification reform when we did that were more controversial issues, things like taxing authority, some alcohol area legislation, and then we had tried to leave alone anything that might have collective bargaining agreements involved in them as well. Several of those cities that were old second-class cities had collective bargaining agreement issues, and that had been left alone in the classification reform prior. However, this bill does not affect those. I was approached by the City of Bowling Green's fire department about some flexibility in what their scheduling could be for their firefighters. Currently, any of the old second-class cities had a very strict schedule requirement. You could only have an on 24, off 48 schedule. As they have researched around, several departments have moved to an on 48, off 96 schedule, and that was something they wanted to explore. They've also been looking at a potential hybrid schedule, and that's what you see in the committee substitute, which is what they call a 1-3-2-3 schedule. So it's an on 24, off 72-hour schedule you start with, and then you have an on 48, off 72. So it's kind of a hybrid between.
Motion on the bill is amended by the sub. Okay. We have motion on the bill by Representative Berry, seconded by Representative Ball. You will please continue to present.
I would quickly say that it does not affect any existing collective bargaining agreements, and we were very clear on the legislation with regard to that, and it only affects 13 cities across the Commonwealth.
All right. Are there any questions on this bill? Any comments? Don't see any, and also I don't believe anyone has signed up to speak for or against this bill. Since there are no other questions or comments, we are ready for a vote. All those in favor of House Bill 131 as amended by the committee substitute vote aye. Those against, no. Will the committee clerk please call the roll?
Representative Ballman?
Aye.
Representative Bray? Representative Brown? Representative Chester Burton? Representative Doan? Representative Fleming? Representative Freeland?
Yes.
Representative Griffey?
Aye.
Representative Hampton?
Yes.
Representative Hart? Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Lewis?
Aye.
Representative Maddox? Representative Meredith?
Yes, ma'am.
Representative Neighbors?
Yes.
Representative Raymer?
Yes.
Representative Rorks? Representative Stalker? Representative Witten?
Aye.
Chairman Flannery?
I vote aye. Looks like the ayes have it. The motion carries with favorable expression. The bill as amended should pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
All right, next up, we have House Bill 256, which is sponsored by the chair. Will the vice chair please assume the chair?
Chairman Flannery, will you please introduce yourself and have any guests introduce themselves for the record?
Yes, Representative Patrick Flannery of the 96th District.
Hello, my name is Eric Case. I'm a Kentucky attorney since 1996, and I'm the current president of the Kentucky Land Title Association.
Thank you. You may proceed.
Thank you. House Bill 256 provides a statutory time limit of 40 years on root of title to eliminate old and dormant interest. The goal is to provide buyers a more secure and marketable title, as well as streamlining the title search process and the entire title process for real estate professionals, which could include attorneys, title search agents, abstractors, and those involved in financial institution. The important thing to note about this is it does not it specifically excludes coal and mineral interest, and primarily will focus on maybe old extinct mortgages and other things that are maybe still on the books but do not apply.
Looks
And,
like we have a substitute. Any questions regarding the sub? Do we have a motion to adopt? We have a motion by Representative Bray and seconded by Representative Ballman. Having a motion and a second, all those in favor of the substitute vote aye. All those against vote no. The substitute is adopted. Any other questions? Seeing no other questions, we're ready for the vote. All those in favor of House Bill. Will the committee assistant please call the roll?
Representative Ballman?
Yes.
Representative Bray? Representative Brown? Representative Chester Burton?
Yes.
Representative Doan? Representative Fleming? Representative Freeland?
Yes.
Representative Griffey?
Yes.
Representative Hampton?
Yes.
Representative Hart? Representative Imes?
Yes.
Representative Lewis?
Aye.
Representative Maddox?
Yes.
Representative Meredith? Representative Neighbors?
Yes.
Representative Raymer?
Yes.
Representative Rorks? Representative Stalker? Representative Witten?
The motion carries with favorable expression that the bill as amended should pass. Thank you, Chairman.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. All right, I'm looking for Representative Wilson. Is he here? There he is. All right. Next on our list is House Bill 290. Representative Wilson, if you could come to the table, please, introduce yourself and any guest you might have for the record.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm Representative Nick Wilson. I have the 82nd District, Whitley County, and part of Laurel. No guests today, but I'm here to talk about House Bill 290. If you'll see at the bill, in the bill there, that under KRS 172.100, there are county law libraries established across the state, either in the courthouse or the public library or a combination. And under statute, the local bar, they have a library fund, and they're able to run the library and buy books. So I didn't think to look up what year this had started, but basically it has become a little outdated where the law libraries fund, the local bars do not have the ability, or they think the permission, to buy online legal services. So effectively what has happened is, I know there are some counties with about $75,000 to $100,000 local library fund and really no way to spend it.
I'll just briefly, comment on this. Representative Wilson, appreciate you bringing this bill. I feel like this is probably an area that it's a good start. We need to take more look at this. Maybe for non-lawyers, a lot of people don't realize that every county does have a law library, and I think it's probably important to look at this, how we can better utilize this resource, not just for attorneys, but for the public, and hopefully have these resources utilized in a way that's beneficial as they are intended. So I do compliment you for bringing this bill, and I think this is an improvement to what we currently have. So I thank you for that. If there aren't any other questions or comments, I think we're ready for a vote on this. All in favor, vote aye. All opposed, vote no. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Ballman.
Aye.
Representative Bray. Representative Brown. Representative Chester Burton.
Yes.
Representative Doan. Representative Fleming. Representative Freeland.
Yes.
Representative Griffey.
Yes.
Representative Hampton.
Yes.
Representative Hart. Representative Imes.
Yes.
Representative Lewis.
Aye.
Representative Maddox.
Yes.
Representative Meredith. Representative Neighbors.
Yes.
Representative Raymer.
Yes.
Representative Rourks. Representative Stalker. Representative Witten.
Yes.
Chairman Flannery.
Yes. The ayes have it. The motion carries with favorable expression that the bill should pass. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Representative Wilson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
All right, last but not least on the agenda, we have House Bill 368. I believe that Representative Decker is now here. She rushed in from another committee meeting. Several committees going on this morning. Once you all have a chance to be seated. Representative Decker, if you could introduce yourself and have any of the guests introduce themselves for the record and then proceed with testimony. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, co-chair, and members of the committee. I am Jennifer Decker, House member from District 58, and I will ask the people at my table to introduce themselves. Thank you.
J.D. Cheney, Executive Director, League of Cities.
John Park, Deputy Judge, Executive, Shelby County.
Shelley Hampton, Director of Government Affairs, Kentucky Association of Counties.
In short, this bill removes an unfair rule in KRS 424.145 that only allows local governments in counties with more than 80,000 residents to use cost-saving alternatives for publishing public notices. Right now, smaller counties, cities, and local government units have no choice but to spend taxpayer dollars on newspaper ads, while larger counties can use these alternatives. The government website notice, posting ads on an official government website available 24/7 after publishing a brief newspaper notice directing the public to the site and directing the public to where and how any documents related to the notice can be obtained.
We have a motion by Representative Fleming. I believe it was seconded by Representative Baumann. I believe there are other people signed up to speak on this, so I'm going to allow you to continue and then allow the other folks signed up to speak.
Thank you. The second alternative option is to publishing a newspaper ad that informs the public that they can view the full advertisement on a digital newspaper site. These methods have proven just as effective in keeping the public informed. There is no valid reason why smaller counties and cities located within them should be denied these same proven options to inform the public of their official acts. House Bill 368 will help smaller counties, especially those without local newspapers, to save money and improve efficiency while still ensuring public access to important information. I urge you to vote yes on this bill. Thank you. I now defer to the other members at the table.
I think there's not much to add to Representative Decker's speech, and this is a tale as old as time. We've talked about this for past several decades about moving forward. This really comes down to not about the money, but about the best way to inform the public for our cities and counties and other local governments to be able to let the public know what's going on in their communities, what their official acts are, and the most efficient way to do that with taxpayer dollars. We've talked about it for 20 years. It's proven in 179 cities that take advantage of this in those 10 counties that are authorized. It's worked well to put the advertisement in the newspaper to say, go to our website and see the full audit. Go to our website. And in addition, if you look at the bill, the language that exists, it also gives you an alternative. If you don't have access and you see it in the newspaper, you can get a copy of the actual audit or the news. So this really does ensure this information gets to the public hands in a very efficient way. That's it for me.
Shelby County, we were told a while back of a grant possibility that we had. It was late in the game, but we decided we'd try for it. We notified our newspaper within the time constraints that they give us for deadlines, got it in, and when the newspaper came out, that notification wasn't in there. We lost out on a grant because of that. There's been several other opportunities. I want to thank Representative Decker for sponsoring this bill. I've been sending her email after email after email of issues that we've had in Shelby County where we've tried to get information out, and we get a response after the fact saying, we overlooked your ad. We weren't able to get it in. They don't tell us beforehand. So this would allow us to be good stewards of the taxpayers' dollars, get the information out, and be transparent. And that we just want to be able to play by the same rules that some of the larger counties and cities get to play by.
Thank you, Representative Decker, for bringing this. I feel like you're like the grandchild of the first 3 or 4 sponsors that we've had throughout the years, as JD mentioned. I'll just say briefly that, I feel like those 10 counties, at least among my membership, the other counties that are left out have kind of seen it as a pilot project, and it's worked very well for those 10. So I think it's time to bring the other 110 on board. Newspapers play a vital role. This has nothing to do with what they do for the public to keep us all informed, but I have personally several digital descriptions of newspapers. I have my paper back home that I can't wait on the paper copy, which they do not print 7 days a week anymore, to come to my mailbox. And so I just think it's time for all of us to step into the 21st century, and I appreciate you bringing this bill. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you all. Do any members of this committee have any questions for those testifying? All right, I don't see any. Thank you, Representative Decker and guest. We have, looks like one person signed up to speak on this on the guest list. Mr. David Thompson of the Kentucky Press Association, if you could come forward. All right, thank you, Mr. Thompson. If you could introduce yourself for the record, please, and then please proceed. Sir, if you could be sure your microphone is on. Can't hear you on. If you pull your microphone closer and be sure it's on.
Is that working now?
There we go.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm David Thompson, Executive Director of the Kentucky Press Association. As JD said and Shelley said, we've been working on this legislation or similar legislation since 2005, so it's not a new subject, and I appreciate their time and discussions with me over that time to talk about this and continue working with them, and we will gladly continue working with them. I'm glad JD did mention that it's not a cost thing, because the Program Review and Investigations Committee under the commission by Senator Chris McDaniel did a year-long study on the cost of newspaper ads that the counties and cities are required to publish. It came out to be 0.16% of a city's budget is what they spend to have these published in newspapers. That's $16 of every $10,000 that they spend goes to newspaper advertisements. The other thing that the commission came up with was, before this is developed, the legislature needs to set some standards for what constitutes a website and what needs to be on there. I'll give you some examples, and Representative Hampton and I, both Scott Countyans. I looked at the city of Stamping Ground in Sadieville. Stamping Ground minutes have not been updated since December of 2024. 2024. The ordinances are current only up until 2020. In Sadieville, there's no agenda or minutes for any city meeting since November 5th of 2024, and that was an 11-minute special meeting. There have been no regular minutes or agenda for City of Sadieville commission meetings since October 28th of 2004. The city of Orchard Grass Hills I believe in Oldham County has not been updated since 2020. The Crestwood, Kentucky city site has no agendas or ordinances posted. The budget in the city of Goshen has not been updated since 2021. There are no minutes for the city of River Bluff. I can go on and on. Campbellsburg, there are no minutes, agendas, or meeting dates. These are standards that we've got to have the cities come up with, and the counties as well, before we move over to putting the notices on the internet. Kentucky Press Association has, since 2012, had a digital website, cost nothing, We sponsor that. It's the public notices as they appear in the newspaper are scraped by the company. They are posted free of charge, and that's every public notice that appears in a newspaper is scraped and then put on kypublicnotice.com. You can check that out. It's also word searchable for companies that are looking for ambulances or first responder type of situations, for bridge construction, for road construction. They can put in, under the smart search, they can put in keywords, and any of the ads anywhere in a Kentucky newspaper will come up. These are fairly current. In most cases, within 2 days, they are posted on kypublicnotice.com. Appreciate any questions.
Any questions from committee members? All right, I believe Representative Rorks.
Do you believe that the issue with the website and the posting of those local meeting minutes could be solved separate from this bill?
The way the Program Review and Investigation Committee worded it was the legislature needs to look at the minimal criteria for a website before it moves into this arena. It acknowledges that there is a future there for this to happen, but they've got to come up with the minimum criteria for the websites, what they need to contain, how they need to be accessed, etc., before they open it up for everyone.
Jared, also appreciate that question to be answered by the bill sponsor too, if she has time.
Yes, Representative Rorks. Representative Decker, if you could approach the table, please.
I'm sorry, could you repeat the question?
For the minimum criteria for websites for local cities and counties, do you feel that that issue could be solved separate from this bill, or do you feel that it should be done in?
I think it could be done separately. In fact, it probably has already been done with the 10 counties, all of the units within the 10 counties. The jurisdictions cited for not having adequate websites, none of those are in the 10 counties. So those counties have been providing this type of notice in all the cities and all the governmental units for some time, and they work very well. So I think that matter has probably already been solved.
Representative Rorks, do you have any additional questions? All right, I believe Representative Bray has a question or comment.
Thank you. Can you tell me, and I guess this is for the KPA, unless I'm wrong, I don't believe minutes are required to be published in newspapers anyway. Only things of public notice, like a special called meeting, which I don't think would, I mean, you're going to have to run an ad for anyway, but budgets, ordinances, things like that. So can you explain exactly what has to be published through a newspaper currently?
Well, you're correct. The minutes are not, and that's hopefully all the newspapers are covering their city council meetings or city commission meetings and reported in that way. There is no requirement for an agenda to be published, but many cities have already done that, have long done that. Representative Hampton would know that Mayor Varney at the city of Georgetown ensured that all the agendas for city council meetings in Georgetown were published. But you're correct. The budget, the financial statement, we cut back greatly over the years. That was part of the rewrite in 2005. So they no longer have to publish every bill that's been paid or every vendor that's been paid. So there have been steps like that taken starting in 2005 to lessen the cost, and we continue willing to work with the League of Cities and the Counties Association on refining those things if that needs to be done.
And then just one additional, there's nothing in this that would prohibit a city or county to continue to publish on through the newspaper. It only gives them the option to do online if they take out an ad and show exactly where it can be found, correct?
A small ad, right? Hopefully they would have put it in the position that a reader can find it. I can tell you since 2002, the School Boards Association has had that privilege, and I challenge you to find where those are published on the website. As the school district says, you can go to www.scottcountyschools, whatever the case might be. But I challenge you to try to find those on the school district website.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions or comments from committee members? I'd just like to briefly stay at, I think Representative Bray Parsley kind of stole my thunder. This is about finding a way to give the public notice and keeping the public informed, but I think we need to, I'd like to kind of disabuse people of the notion that this is not about money going to newspapers, because it is. And I think the question is, what is the best use of our tax dollars? There's nothing in this bill that prevents newspaper or print from publishing in their newspapers any public notice. The question is whether taxpayers have to fund that. And so I think that is an important part of this bill. And we also have to ask ourselves, as technology evolves, what is the best way to keep people informed? So Representative Decker, I appreciate you bringing this bill. If there are no other questions or comments, we're going to proceed with the vote. All those in favor vote aye. All those opposed vote no. Clerk, please call the roll.
Representative Ballman,
Aye.
Representative Bray, Representative Brown, Representative Chester Burton,
Yes.
Representative Doan,
Yes.
Representative Fleming, Representative Freeland,
Yes.
Representative Griffey,
Yes.
Representative Hampton,
Yes.
Representative Hart, Representative Imes,
Yes.
Representative Lewis,
Aye.
Representative Maddox,
Pass.
Representative Meredith,
Briefly explain my vote.
Yes, please proceed.
I'm going to vote aye today, and my explanation is this. And David, as we all do, I was involved in some of those prior negotiations when I chaired this committee. But I think what Shelley said is very important. Those 10 counties that have been out there have been a pilot project for what can happen across the rest of the state. I don't think the sky has fallen, first. Secondly, I think we heard one example of a mistake that cost a county a lot of money, potentially, by not getting a grant through. And I've continued to hear about more and more of those situations where a mistake has either cost a county a grant, city a grant, or has cost having to have a special called meeting or something like that to process an ordinance because it didn't meet the requirement under the regular meeting. If you look at one of the things that has to be published, it's a bid requirement. Many times our small local papers, the folks that will be bidding on those projects don't even take the subscription to that paper, and so they're not getting out to anybody that is actually there to bid. And I think the other thing is just deadlines and timelines become difficult when you're talking about a weekly paper and how a meeting may be scheduled for a regularly scheduled meeting because of how those deadlines all work together. So I think the timing is right now for this. And I think it is a situation where no longer do we need cities and counties subsidizing the work of the newspapers. I think it's time that we can actually do this in other ways. Again, I don't think there's anything wrong, and I would encourage cities and counties to send the information on these to their papers, and the papers, if they see anything that should be a problem, they have every ability to print that so that the public does know and the subscribers do know. But I think it's important that, many times the actual taxpayers are not subscribing to the newspaper anymore, and they're paying to have that published without actually getting it because they're not paying a subscription, so they don't see it anyway. And so that's why I'm voting yes today.
Thank you.
Representative Neighbors,
Yes.
Representative Raymer,
Yes.
Representative Rourke,
Yes.
Representative Stalker,
Yes.
Representative Witten,
Yes.
Chair Flannery.
I vote aye. The ayes do have it. The bill passes. Motion should carry with favorable expression that the bill should pass. Any person like to record a vote? I believe Representative Down.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to record a yes vote on House Bill 131 as well as on House Bill 290.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman?
Hold on, please. All right, Representative Rourke, I believe you need to record a vote.
Yes. I would like to record a yes vote on House Bill 131, House Bill 256, and House Bill 290.
Thank you. Representative Stalker.
Thank you. I'd like to record my attendance as well as a yes vote on House Bill 131, House Bill 256, and House Bill 290. Thank you.
All right, I heard somebody to my left.
Yes,
Representative
Mr. Chairman.
Maddox.
Like to record my attendance as well as a yes vote on House Bill 131, please.
Thank you very much. Any other members of the committee wish to? Representative Chester Burton.
Recording my attendance and my yes on 131.
Representative Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to record a yes vote on 131, 256, and 290 and record my attendance.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Wait, did you get all that? You good? All right. Any other members of the committee that have business before we adjourn? Seeing none, meeting's adjourned. Thank you.